everyone, welcome back to the English Learning Podcast. I'm your host, Henry.
And I'm Sarah. So glad you're here with us today.
If you've ever found yourself translating from your native language into English in your head before speaking, you're not alone.
Yeah, and that little pause, right before you say something, can really slow you down or even make you feel stuck, right?
Exactly. Today, we're diving into a really powerful idea that can help you become more fluent, more confident, and more natural when you speak English.
The topic is Think in English to improve your speaking sounds simple, but it's actually one of the biggest game changers for English learners.
In this episode, we'll talk about why thinking in English matters, common mistakes learners make, and of course, we'll give you practical ways to start training your brain to think in English starting today.
Plus, we'll share some of our own stories. Because trust us, we've both been through the struggle of learning a new language.
So whether you're walking, commuting, or just relaxing at home, grab your headphones and let's talk. All right, let's start with the big question. Why does thinking in English matter so much?
Yeah, can I just translate in my head and still speak well?
Good question. Translating in your head might work at the beginning, but if you want to speak naturally and fluently, you've got to start thinking in English.
Totally. When you translate every sentence from your native language, it slows you down. You might get stuck searching for the perfect word or the right grammar rule.
And by the time you figure it out, the moment is gone. The conversation has already moved on.
Exactly. And here's something important. Native speakers don't think about grammar rules when they speak. They just talk.
That's the goal, to get so comfortable with English that it becomes automatic. That's what thinking in English helps you build speed, confidence, and flow.
And you know what? It also helps you avoid awkward or wrong translations. Sometimes things just don't sound right when we translate directly.
So true. Like one of my students once said, I have cold instead of I'm cold because that's how it's said in her native language. Makes sense in her mind, but not in English.
Yeah, those little things really add up. When you start thinking in English, you begin to feel what sounds right and what doesn't.
And let's be honest, it's also a big confidence booster. When you're not constantly worrying about translation, you enjoy speaking more.
Right? You stop being so scared of making mistakes because your brain is just in the language.
So, if you're listening to this and thinking, ugh, I always translate in my head, don't worry. That's totally normal at first.
Yeah, don't be hard on yourself. We're going to show you how to change that, and it's easier than you think. All right, so now that we understand why thinking in English is important, let's talk about some common mistakes learners make when they don't think in English.
Oh yeah, we've seen these a lot. Let's start with the big one, translating every sentence in your head.
Yes, like, okay, I want to say something. Let me think of the sentence in my language first. Now translate word by word into English. By that time, the conversation is over.
Laughs. Yeah, it's like trying to speak through Google Translate. Slow and awkward.
Another one is worrying too much about grammar while speaking. Some learners freeze because they're thinking, is this the right tense? Should I use past perfect? What's the rule again?
And while you're doing that mental math, your brain is like, error 404, fluency not found. Both laugh.
Exactly. Don't get us wrong, grammar is important. But when you're speaking, the goal is communication, not perfection.
Another big mistake? Being afraid of making mistakes in general. Some learners stay completely silent because they don't want to mess up.
Oh, I know that feeling. But here's the thing. Mistakes are part of learning. You have to speak to get better.
Right. Think of little kids learning to talk. They make tons of mistakes, but they keep going, and eventually they become fluent.
Here's another one, memorizing vocabulary without context. Like writing a list of 100 new words, but not knowing how to use them in real life.
Yeah, you might know the word although, but if you never say it in a sentence, it doesn't stick.
Let's do a quick example, actually. Want to try a mini role play?
Let's do it. I'll be the learner who's translating everything word for word from their native language. Yesterday I went to the, um, Shop for eat. I mean, to eat. Burger?
Okay. I get what you're saying, but it took a while, right?
Yeah, that's the translating trap. Now let's try again, but this time I'll think in English. Yesterday, I went to a burger place with my friend. We were super hungry.
Boom! Simple, natural, and way more confident.
So if you're listening and you do the first version, don't worry. The goal is progress, not perfection.
Exactly. Recognize the habits that slow you down, and then we can replace them with better ones.
All right, we've talked about the problem. Now let's talk about the solution. How do you actually start thinking in English?
Yes! Let's get into some practical ways, things you can do today even if you're a beginner.
First tip, label your world in English. Look around you. Your phone, your chair, your cup of coffee. Start naming those things in English in your mind.
Yeah, like instead of thinking taza or very or whatever your word for cup is, you just go cup, boom, English.
And you can go a step further. Make little phrases like, my cup is empty. This chair is soft. I need to charge my phone.
Exactly. Keep it simple. You're not writing an essay, you're just training your brain to see the world in English.
Here's another one. Talk to yourself. Out loud or in your head, narrate your day. I'm brushing my teeth now. I'm walking to the bus. I feel sleepy.
Sounds a bit silly, but it works. I do this when I'm learning another language. You're creating English habits in your thinking.
And if you don't know a word, great, learn it right then, but only that one word. Don't go down a rabbit hole.
Right. Keep it natural. You're not studying, you're just living in English.
Another tip, use your phone in English, change the language settings. That way you're seeing and reading English all day.
Oh yes, this one helped me a lot. It feels weird at first, but your brain adjusts super quickly.
And speaking of reading, try this, read simple content in English. Then summarize it in your head, also in English.
Could be an Instagram caption, a short article, even a comic. Read it, then think, okay, what did I just read? In English.
And speaking of reading, try this, read simple content in English. Then summarize it in your head, also in English.
And here's a challenge for our listeners. Pick 1 hour a day, just one, where you only think in English, even if it's hard.
Yes, and during that hour, no translating. Just try your best. Make mistakes. It's okay.
Over time, that hour becomes easier, then it becomes 2, and eventually, boom, you're thinking in English most of the time.
And that's when the real magic happens. Your speaking starts to flow. You respond faster. You stop second-guessing yourself.
So let's recap some of these practical tips real quick. Quick recap. Label objects around you in English. Narrate your day, mentally or out loud. Switch your phone to English. Read and summarize simple English content. Watch with English subtitles. Practice thinking in English for 1 hour a day.
Remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about practice a little bit. Every day adds up.
And hey, don't be afraid to have fun with it. Language learning should feel like life, not homework. Okay, we've given a bunch of tips, but maybe it helps to know we've been there too.
Oh yeah, people hear us speaking fluently now and think, oh, you're just naturally good at languages. Nope, it took work.
Same here. When I first started learning Spanish, I did exactly what we just told people not to do. I translated everything in my head.
Laughs guilty. I remember learning German and trying to speak. I'd freeze mid-sentence like, wait, what's the verb order again? It was like solving a puzzle while talking.
And I used to be so afraid of making mistakes. I'd stay quiet in class because I didn't want to sound dumb.
I totally get that. But here's what helped me. I started watching kids' cartoons in German. It was simple language, fun, and I started thinking in German without realizing it.
That's so smart. For me, I started writing my daily journal in Spanish, just a few lines a day. But the rule was no translating. Just try to write directly in Spanish, even if it wasn't perfect.
That's the key, putting yourself in situations where you're forced to think in the language, not just study it.
Yeah, I remember the first time I actually dreamed in Spanish. I woke up like, wait, did that really happen? Laughs.
Oh man, same. I had a dream in German once where I was ordering food. I woke up proud and hungry.
Laughs. That's how you know your brain is starting to get it.
So if you're listening and feeling frustrated, just know we've been there. We still mess up sometimes, but that's part of the journey.
And honestly, thinking in English didn't happen overnight. It was slow, a little awkward, but now it's second nature.
So give yourself grace, celebrate small wins, and keep showing up.
Because you can get there, and we're rooting for you.
All right, so let's take a moment to recap everything we've talked about today.
Yeah, if your brain is full right now, don't worry. We're gonna break it down for you real quick.
So, first up, we talked about why thinking in English matters. It's not just a nice idea, it's a game changer. It helps you speak faster, more naturally, and with more confidence.
Then we looked at common mistakes learners make, like always translating in your head, overthinking grammar, or trying to be perfect all the time.
After that, we gave you practical tools to start thinking in English. Things like labeling objects around you, talking to yourself, switching your phone to English, reading and summarizing, and spending an hour a day in full English mode.
And we shared a little of our own journeys to remind you you're not alone. Every language learner has awkward moments. It's part of the process.
So, here's your action plan, what we want you to do after this podcast. Pick one small habit you can start today. Just one. Maybe it's narrating your morning routine in English or switching your phone settings. Set a 10-minute timer and challenge yourself to think only in English. Build it into your day. Track your wins. Did you catch yourself thinking in English today? That's progress. Write it down or say it out loud. Don't chase perfection. Chase progress. Little by little, your brain will adapt.
Oh, and bonus tip, tell a friend what you're doing, or share your challenge on social media. It keeps you motivated and makes it fun.
Exactly. This journey is better when you don't go it alone. And remember, thinking in English is a skill, not a talent. You build it by showing up.
So if you're listening right now, we believe in you. Start small, be consistent, and give yourself permission to grow.
And now, let's wrap this up with a little encouragement to keep going strong. Sound good?
Let's do it.
Well, wow, that's a wrap for today's episode. If you've made it all the way to the end, thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Yeah, seriously, huge shout out to you. You're investing in yourself, and that's something to be proud of.
We hope this episode helped you understand why thinking in English is such a powerful tool, and that it gave you some real strategies to get started.
And remember, it's totally okay if it feels weird or slow at first. Just keep practicing. Progress always starts with small steps.
If this episode helped you, we'd love it if you could leave a review, give us a thumbs up, or share it with a friend who's learning English too.
And if you're new here, don't forget to check out our playlist, English Learning Podcast. We've got lots more episodes to help you improve your speaking, confidence, and fluency.
You can also follow us on social media for extra tips and behind-the-scenes content. We love hearing from you.
All right, English learners, go out there and try to spend just a little more time today thinking in English. You've got this.
Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and take care.